up, you guys? Eric here, driverlineup.com. World's okayest steering wheel holder as your host. Try to get away from my truck because that reefer's set at 34 degrees, produce sensitive, which those of you who drive for Prime will know means it never turns off. So if you can't sleep with the hum of a reefer behind you, it may be a tough go for you on a produce load. So yeah, I'm doing a 34-hour reset right now, a rolling one, which I'll talk about in a minute. But first I wanted to give you guys an update on the apples, because look, I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. And as I always say, I'm always learning new things. When I know nothing about apples. Nothing about how they grow, nothing about how you, well, now I know how to haul them because I just picked up my first apple load. But I didn't know anything about apples. So someone tells me that, hey, apples are in season right now, and it's apple season up in Washington. You're probably gonna get a Washington load. They're good paying loads. So in my last video, you know, I'm like, I had no idea they grow in the winter. They don't grow in the winter. They store them, which is really weird. So they store these things, and then, which, you know, I always thought apples went bad really quick. They don't. They have a process to give them life. So that's what they do. So yeah, they don't grow in the winter. There's not apple trees out there in Washington that someone's out there in the snow plucking, you know. So anyway, on that apple load, because I've gotten a lot of questions about it in Discord, people, and a lot of comments on the last video asking me how I enjoyed the apple load. I actually, it was, honestly, I think there's some places that are probably a little bit different. The one that we went to, which was in Sella, I think, Sella, Washington, was really no different than any other distributor. It was like 30 docks, really busy place. You wait for a door, hours on end for a door. Your appointment time doesn't matter. The usual stuff, you know. Back into a door, get loaded. Now I will say, you got to use every load lock you have on hand to secure that load, because they pack those apples up to the ceiling. So they're really tall pallets. Wasn't a heavy load. It's 30,000 pounds of apples. And then we had to go to a second stop, which they added on, which I was fine with because it was on the way, and it gave us an extra, I think, 300 bucks to just pick up a couple pallets of potatoes that they put on the back of the truck, which I was very grateful for, because those potato pallets are about 2/3 the height of the apple pallets. So I got a load lock up at the top where the apples are, and then a couple load locks in front of the potatoes. And I think the total load is like 35 tons, roughly, truck, trailer, everything. So a good experience. Like, other than having to drive in Washington in the winter, which is you know, it's a big gamble. It can be chains required. It can be a bad situation. It's a good load, 5,000 bucks to go to New Jersey to the truck. So anyway, that's the load we're on. We're in Montana right now. We're running from one storm, which is coming in across the West Coast, across Washington, and we're trying to stay behind the storm that's going across the Midwest right now. So we're kind of right between the two. And so far that's working out for us. But I was about out of hours. I had gotten down, I've been running off recaps for like 6 days. Jenna got a 70-hour reset in Florida. So her clock looks great, but I was down to, I think the day we dropped, which had been Monday, today's Wednesday. So Monday morning I had like 5 hours left. And I had good recaps coming in a couple days, but for those 2 or 3 days, it was like 5 or 6 hours a night. So I couldn't do any 10-hour nights. And I don't really, if I'm going to drive at night, I like to pound out, you know, at least 400 miles. Like, otherwise I'll just drive during the day, drive in the morning hours or something. So I didn't really want to have to run on recaps. Plus we're going home in 8 days. So I just wanted to make sure that we had good clocks to make sure that we're not messed up and out of time right before we go home, you know. So we decided to do we're going to do 2 rolling 34-hour resets. For those who don't run team, rolling 34 means one driver keeps the truck moving while the other just takes a day off and enjoys lots of sleeper berth time. So that's what I'm doing. So Jenna drove yesterday, got us into Montana, and then she's gonna drive today when the sun comes up. It's supposed to snow here for a couple hours, just light dusting, so we're waiting for that to finish. And she's gonna drive today. We don't want to drive it too fast because we'll catch up to that snow, but we got plenty of time on this load. So she's going to drive today, and then I'll have my 70-hour clock back tonight. So then I can drive tonight. She takes tomorrow off, which is her birthday, New Year's Eve. And then I'll drive the next night, and then she'll have a fresh clock. So that's how you do a rolling 34. One driver takes care of the drives for a 34-hour period, and the other driver doesn't drive at all. And the truck doesn't really have, the truck does have to stop for a 10-hour break for the other driver. So she's on her 10-hour break right now. So, but you only have to stop for 10 hours, not 34, you know. It's a lot easier way to get 34s in. So that's our situation. We're in Missoula getting ready to go at this TA. It's got a strip joint in the parking lot called Fred's. I'm sure some of you will be hopefully not familiar with the inside of that place because it looks sketchy. Fred's Exotic Dancers right in the parking lot of TA. I would not want to go in that place, man. It looks sketch. But yeah, it's beautiful views here yesterday, man. I love Montana. Honestly, if we ever won the lottery or something, we'd probably just buy a bunch of land in Montana. This state is freaking beautiful. Love it up here. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get back in the truck. It's cold. But I want to give you guys an update. I didn't get a video out yesterday, so I wanted to get this one up this morning. I am trying to do 365 videos in 2021. That's my goal. I'm not committing to doing it every single day because sometimes shit just happens, you know. But 365 videos. That's what I'm gonna do in 2021. So you guys are gonna get a good update. Plus, I have a lot of cool stuff going on next year. A lot of cool parts of our 4-year plan is underway because we ordered our truck last week, our new truck. We're buying a 2022 Peterbilt Ultraloft 579. That is the kickoff of our 4-year plan. So our 4-year plan is underway. So I'm excited to share a lot of that with you guys, which I'll be doing throughout the year, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, be safe, make good decisions. As always, drive to thrive. Talk to you soon.